Welcome to episode 115 of the DOD-Cast today. It's been a little bit. It's been like a month since I've posted one of these, and I miss it. You know, I miss posting. I miss wanting to. That's what it is. I miss wanting to. I miss having a schedule like 4 weeks out. I got this person, this person, this person, this person. I don't feel the need to schedule people. I just haven't felt the need to, so I just haven't done it. I'm not going to sit down and record for no reason, is what I kept telling myself. But I find myself here right now because in order to, keep this rolling, I was like, let's just get in there. Let's bring a couple bullet points and let's have a good 115th episode for anyone that wants to watch. And I know it's been a little bit. So I guess I'll answer that question, why. And as I just said, I haven't really felt like it. I'm very simple. It's like I kind of just do what I feel like doing. Keeps me happy, keeps me wholesome for the most part. If you run into me out and about, you'll know I'm a pretty happy dude for the most part. I get aggravated pretty quick, but I'm a pretty happy guy. And I think it's because of that. It's because I just kind of do what I feel like doing when I feel like doing it. Now, is that always good for other people? I don't know. I like to say that my friends don't hate me and my family doesn't hate me, but, a couple missed texts, couple things I probably should do that I don't, because I don't know what it is. I don't do it intentionally. I just do what I want to do. And I think I need to get better at doing things I don't want to do, because, there's days I don't want to go to the gym, so I don't. Like, I kind of just got to get lucky. I just got to feel like I'm going to the gym, and then I'll go. It's like there's days I don't feel like eating healthy. I'll eat all I feel like it because it makes me happy. But that's gluttonous behavior, and that probably needs to cut. And on that note, something that I did recently that a lot of people do. I see people do this all the time, and I used to make fun of people for doing this, but I get it now. Is it just deleting social media? I know what you're thinking, especially if you're seeing this as a clip. I don't know if I'm gonna make this a clip. But how did you delete social media? You have that DOD-Cast account, don't you? What do you mean you deleted it? So I don't know if you guys know this. I have two phones. I'm like Kevin Gates. I have two phones. I got one for the podcast and then one for non the podcast. Shout out Henry Edwards for giving me an iPhone 8 to run my shit through. I just use that now for social media purposes. I'll upload things there if I can't find a way to schedule them on my laptop. And I'll respond to comments and stuff. But really, I just deleted everything from my phone that I walk around with every day. And I've seen people do this. You might be contemplating this right now. Why should I delete the social media apps from my phone? I don't want to delete the social media apps from my phone. I want to, but I can't. It's kind of hard. And if that's you, I kind of went through a lot of the thought experiment for you. And I've probably I'm 2 weeks sober, 3 weeks sober maybe, and I haven't really touched it. So I'll tell you what I think. And first I wanted to ask myself, well, why am I deleting it? Pretty easy answer. I just would wake up, pop on social media instantly. I think it was a weird start to my morning. Not a bad one, like some people might say. Not sure what the fucking blue light's doing to you or whatever, or if it's going to put you in a negative mood. I didn't feel like that was a problem. Just a weird start to my morning. I was reliant on it to, wake me up. Like, if that makes sense. I'd wake up, and I'd scroll until I was ready to get out of bed. I feel like that's it just didn't feel right, And then another reason why is because then I'd just be scrolling aimlessly for me, only 30 to 45 minutes. I get distracted pretty easily. So 45 minutes of my day going into a phone is crazy for me. Crazy. I know there's people that can sit on the phone for 3 hours though, and whatever floats your boat. But for me, once I got 45 minutes into that, and I just pop out, and all of a sudden I time traveled, I was like, "What the fuck just happened to me?" And this was happening pretty frequently. So I was like, "All right, well, TikTok has to go." So TikTok's been gone for a while, and then I started doing it on Instagram on the Reels, and I was like, "What the fuck? Now this got to go." If I'm sending you too many Reels, I'm stuck. So I had to go, and they just needed to. And then, I just substitute it with Twitter. I'd pull up Twitter, and I'd scroll. And Twitter's like scrolling, but I was like, at least I'm reading. Psych. Twitter's crazy now, too. You can just scroll through videos, too. So I had to delete that as well. So now here I am, 3 weeks out. I deleted it because it was a time sink. I felt like I was sinking time that I don't usually need to sink into it. Then I had to start asking myself another question. Why do I even have it in the first place? I don't have it to sink into. I didn't get these apps. Maybe I got TikToked for the purpose of scrolling. But why did I get these apps? Honestly, why did I get them? Why did I get social media? It was really to just keep up with the times. Not just my friends, but the times. You know, like I got ESPN on that. I love sports, so it pops up ESPN for me. I follow a couple like political accounts, you know. You get a video of like Trump saying something crazy, or you get video of Biden saying nothing at all. Like, shit's funny. Like, you know, I liked being up to date with what the new joke of the day was, what the political, you know, architecture looked like out there. Like, it took me so long to find out it was just Nikki Haley and Trump, dude. It took me so long because I don't watch the news either. So because I don't have social media anymore, I kind of fall to the wayside. I don't really know anything. And same thing with sports. Like, sports shit was happening around me. Like, Karl Anthony Towns, great player for the Timberwolves, out for the season, I believe. Again, I don't really know the details because it didn't pop up on my feed. So that's why I have it. Is almost like it's just news. It's just the news. Sports, media, a couple fun things, and a little sprinkle in the entertainment. But I feel like the entertainment's almost secondary, and the entertainment was becoming the primary reason. And me, I'd rather the entertainment in my life come from something else. Doesn't necessarily mean it's something better. So what do I mean? I mean that I'd rather sink 2 hours into a movie than into my phone. Is one better than the other? Probably not. Like, what's the difference? Staring at a screen for 2 hours regardless. I'd just like to have said, oh, I watched that. I feel like it creates a dialogue with me and some people that like movies. I love movies. I love to watch them. And I'm a big, it's not movie buff, but I just love like the artistry of it beyond just like the storylines. I love seeing like a cool shot movie, you know, maybe a documentary, learn something. I just like that shit. I feel like it's a better use of my time for me. But I understand someone that's like, well, I can go get 85 TikToks, learn 5 things, see a couple funny videos, send it to my friends. That's a different type of connection you're building, and that's valid. But for me, I don't have the social media for these reasons, and I was using it for these reasons. Hence, I had to get rid of it. This brings up a different question, though. Is getting rid of it the answer, or should I just be able to limit myself while having the app? And this is what I'm struggling with right now. Again, 3 weeks in to deleting this thing. And I keep wondering, should I have deleted it? Should I have just tried to fight a little bit harder? Should I just be scrolling, you know, and then stop? Like, try to be conscious of it. Be like, okay, been scrolling for about 5 minutes now. Let's just put the phone back down. Or maybe every time I get up, it's like I was just pulling out my phone during transition periods of my life. Like, if I was like getting up to go grab a drink, I just pull up my phone, just scroll 3 times, and grab the drink, come back, and then sit down. That had to go. It was like an instinctual thing. I still pull out my phone to go to the app, and then I realize it's not there, and I close it and I put it back. You know, it's like withdrawals. And so should I have been trying to control that? Should I have been like trying to think in my head, as soon as I pull up the phone, nope, put it back in. Keep the app, still be able to get updated, still be able to use it the way I want to use it. Just control myself? Or did I do the right thing and just cutting it off, you know, cutting it clean, going cold turkey, you know? And the jury's still out on that, you know? So I'm not too sure about that. Another thing is, if I'm not even posting, especially this past month with the podcast, I wasn't even posting. So why did I even have the app? For that first 2 weeks, I wasn't posting. So that's kind of what made me, I guess, feel like I could delete it. I was like, well, I'm not going to post for a little bit anyway. I haven't really felt like it, so let me just delete it anyway. And I wonder, do you even need Instagram if you're not going to post? Honestly, like, do you think it's weird to have Instagram if you don't post? I don't know. Like, I know a lot of people that do that. Plenty. Have it. Use it daily. Haven't posted in 2+ years, 3 years. I'm one of those people. I only post like probably like once, maybe twice a year. Maybe on my real account. My real account, my podcast account are very different. Very different. My podcast account, I upload a ton, and when I am on it, I never scroll for long. I scroll for like 2 seconds and I get off. I'm the creator there. But my personal account, I'm the consumer. I post very little and I scroll very much, So I think that plays into it too. If you're posting more, I don't know why, but I think it triggers you to not be consuming as much. Like you see something posted, you almost feel like you should be posting too. So maybe, I wonder if you're a big poster out there, if you're a huge Instagram person, you love Instagram. I'm using that as an example because it's just my favorite. If you're a huge Instagram person and you're posting a lot, are you also scrolling a lot? Let me know. I don't know what the basis is on that, but I feel like for me, the account that I post on, I don't scroll. If I'm on that account, I'll just back out of my phone straight up. It's like changes me like on a chemical level. But on the account that I'm not posting on, I'm only consuming. I'm just there to scroll. I'm just there to scroll, like, scroll, send to a friend, scroll. Crazy. So I think, in the end, understanding why you have social media is the key. If you understand why you have it, you can at least pick a lane like, all right, well, maybe I should limit my use, or maybe I should be using it in different ways. Am I following the right accounts? Why am I following this account that only posts like these long kind of distracting videos, or short, very distracting, very like high paced videos, and you want to increase your attention span? That's not good for you. It's like maybe you should be following different accounts, or maybe you should, that might be something I should try. When I do re-download it, because I will, it's not like it's over for good. When I re-download it, maybe I'll change who I'm following, make sure that I'm only seeing who I follow, and when I get to the end of the feed, have it remind me, like, hey, you're done, dude. This is all you got, kid. Something like that. And I think that that's something that's true for kind of everything. Like, if you understand why you're doing something or what you're doing it for, you get to use it a lot better, I relate it to the gym again. So for me, I'm going to the gym to stay in shape, just to not look like potatoes. I don't want to look like gum, I just don't. So I just go to the gym to keep myself in some form of shape and allow me to eat more food, basically. So if I go to the gym, I need to do a couple muscular exercises to make sure I'm countering out all the food I'm eating. But I also got to remember, like, hey, dude, like, if you get the opportunity to go play basketball instead that day, maybe you should. Maybe that's the better option, A lot of times it probably is the better option. So, and it's the same thing. It's just forming your body into the right shape. So it's all the same. Just understanding that I'm not missing out on a workout just because I went to play basketball. In fact, it's probably better for me than just going and lifting again, So that's my little spiel on social media. Again, I hate that it wasn't too fruitful of a little conversation to start off with right there, but that's just my thoughts recently. It's why I deleted it. It's why I haven't been posting, and I also think it kind of is a little food for thought for you if you're thinking about maybe deleting or limiting or whatever. And kind of on a similar plane, I want to throw my Xbox out the window too. I'm not even going to get started on that because it's a very similar conversation. It's literally the exact same conversation. Just something I've been thinking about. Just like it's like a dream I have. I wake up in the middle of the night just wishing I could just throw my Xbox out of the third story of my house. All right. Recently, I had John and Tapa on the podcast. Shout out John and Tapa. He was a great episode. You can go watch it. Link in the description, whatever. Probably won't be there, actually. Just go to my YouTube and go find it. It was like 2 episodes ago. He was really good, but we talked about Medford nightlife very, very briefly, and I don't know if I've talked about this in another podcast. I'll have to check, but, it's one of the most infuriating things about the city I love. I love this place. I love Medford. It's good residential area. There's good schools. The new library's cool. I like the way Medford Square is set up, where you can, you drive through it. There's there's the east, the west, the north, south. It's like, they don't really call everything what it is. Like, some people think East Medford don't exist. I don't buy that because I live in it. But, it brings you, it's the center of the city in a lot of ways. I think it's a good setup area. They have the Chevalier there now, and I like that theater. It's a decent venue. It's weird because it's right across from residential again, but it's cool. And there's plenty of places. If you're a young family, it's great, because there's fucking plenty of dentists. There's plenty of, banks and insurance and fucking schools and houses, residential. But let's be honest. They're dropping the ball here. Big time. Let me tell you a little anecdote. I went to Bellingham with some of my friends. And, me and my girlfriend are leaving. Me and Kira are leaving. I don't know why. You all know who she is. We're leaving. I think it was just me and her. And I get in my car. I parked a little away from Bellingham, right off the highway, right off 93. And I get out of the parking lot. We basically pull onto the highway. That's where this parking lot was. It was sick. And I'm driving. I think it was maybe Sierra Leone by Frank Ocean. I was playing a Frank Ocean song. I love Frank Ocean. And we got back to my house before Frank Ocean's song finished. That was a 5-minute ride. Was I bussing it? A little bit. Nothing egregious, though, obviously. I'm not going to get pulled over on a Saturday night. That's crazy. So, nothing egregious, but was definitely bussing. Got home in 5 minutes flat. So, we are 5 minutes away from Boston, away from the North End, away from the bars, away from all these areas. Five minutes, maybe 10, if you have to drive around. But 5 minutes, really. And, just like Somerville is. Somerville is a good, a couple minutes out. Maybe if you're in the right place, you can get there in like literally 60 seconds. But we're right there. We are right next to Boston. We're right next to Somerville. Somerville's got a ton of nightlife. It's got, it's got not like a ton, but, there's the Burn, the pub. There's all types of little joints, Premier. What's the new place they're putting in? The Common. I don't even know what the fuck it's called. It's like the Premier other place. There's all types of spots to be in Somerville, but there's nowhere to be in Medford past 12. Once 12 o'clock, it's like the fucking city has a curfew. I feel like I'm living in like a ghetto. Not like the ghetto. You know what I mean? Like a fucking, like back in like Nazi Germany. I'll stop talking now. But I feel like I'm living in like a restricted, like, post-utopia society. I feel like I'm living in a dystopian area. It's crazy. Nothing's open past 12 unless you want to go to a fucking Wendy's. You can't go inside, obviously, past 12. Like, I'm just going to get fat. Well, as soon as 12 o'clock hits, it's like, all right, your only option in Medford at this point is either you're fucking going to sleep or you're going to get fat right now. That's all you can do. Get fat or go to sleep. Or go to another fucking city. Why can't we get something in Medford? In Medford Square, too. Like, they add a couple things recently, right? Tacuba. Tacuba looks sick. I've been there. It's a great vibe, great ambience. A little pricey, small portions, but good food, and it was a lot of fun. It was a good time for me and my friends. It closes at 12. Keep it open till 1 even. Just 1. At a sports bar somewhere. I hear an Irish pub's coming somewhere in Medford or something, but I almost guarantee it'll close at 12 because the whole city closes at 12 unless you're going to a 7-Eleven or a Wendy's. It's crazy to me. And then they add deep cuts. Deep cuts looks cool. There's some stand-up. There's some cool art, I guess. I don't know. There's some fucking music being played, hence deep cuts. But I think the latest that place closes at 11. Leave it open. I sound like a whining bitch right now. Fuck. But leave it open. It's or just have areas that you can leave open nearby. I bet the Chevalier is the only real place that might run a little after 12, but I've never even looked into that. I honestly doubt it. Everything closes at 12. Maybe it's a city mandate. I feel like it must be, because otherwise, why would you do that? And then don't even get me started on the fact that there's very little going on there anyway. It's like if you're not a sub shop, a dentist, an insurance agency, or a foreign delicacy, then you basically aren't even there. Like, you can't get into Medford Square. Papagino's goes away. Papagino's is on the corner. I think it's now a Gentle Dental, which, like, everyone needs their teeth cleaned and all that. But, like, can we get some nightlife right there, please? I don't know what will go there. I don't know. But that's good opportunity for a bar. I don't even drink, and I want this. I just want it so bad for my city. I don't want people to feel like they got to move to Somerville just to have a good time past 12. You know, the average age in our city, I assume if you're watching your Medford or you're at least now with me because I'm passionate, the average age for our city, about 35, I believe, maybe 36. Somerville is like 32, 33. Boston's like 31. But like the national average is like 40 plus. Like, you know, like it's not like we're still on the younger side for a city. We're so close to the city, to Boston, that, you know, we're closer to Boston, like the heart of it, than like Alston and Brighton. And they think that they are Boston. Like that's how close we are. So I don't know. To me, I feel like you need to have some nightlife to capitalize on that youth, or else you're going to keep getting older. And when you keep getting older, I feel like that's a sign your city's going to die because the people in it are dying. Am I dramatic? Probably. But that's just what I feel. Like me, I'm looking for a place right now. I don't want to be in Medford. I don't want to be in Medford because I feel like Medford is settled down. Medford is no more risks. Medford means no fun. No fun in Medford. What you do in Medford is you get a great sub. Listen, and we got great subs. Fabulous subs. Don't change anything about how we're doing the sub game or how we're doing Italian food in general. You know, we got Bob's, we got Four Pizza, we got Nappy's, we got Lacasha's. We got all types of great places to go get a pizza or a sub. But other than that, like, what the fuck, dude? What the hell? What are we doing? I'd love to have on, like, the mayor or something. Just chat about Medford Square. I hear it's a hot button. You know, I'm not into the Medford politics scene, and maybe I should be, so I can start passing through some legislation on this shit. But I hear it's a hot button, Medford Square, and how underutilized it is. You know, they cleaned up that area where the homeless hang out, but guess what? It's right next to a fucking cemetery. So who's going to be there anyway? Let the homeless be there. Let them. It's a cemetery. Who's going to hang out? You know, except for like Oak Grove. I still can't believe, by the way, just a little side note, anyone that knows that went to Medford High, when you took pictures for prom or semi or whatever, you'd go to a cemetery and sit outside and take pictures outside of a fucking cemetery. Yeah, it's cool. There's steps. It's nice. Get away from the cemetery. I think that's so disrespectful, bro. Someone's buried like 35 feet away from you, and you're just taking a picture like senior prom, me and my bitches, me and the bros going to prom. Like, dude's dead 35 feet away. Him and his wife buried next to each other. They lived in the city for 95 years, never went out past 12 p.m., and this is how we're respecting them? Stop taking pictures next to the fucking cemetery, please. Last thing. I might not even include it. It's crazy, but this is my last thing. For all you Taylor Swift fans out there, I love and support you. I do. I love and support you. I love and support you. I have too many Taylor Swift super fans in my life. Not fans, super fans, dare I say. I know people, hey Haley, that have met her in her house. We're in her house. My sister saw her in one of her first X amount of concerts around here in Massachusetts. I might have even been her first. I don't know the exact statistics. I don't want to lie on her name, but one of her first concerts, she was in her, early teens, Taylor Swift, and they have like a very old CD of hers, like from when she was not even famous yet. You know, super fans I know. So I get the Taylor Swift shit. I get it. I understand it. I love Taylor Swift, me personally. I think she's cool. Not really. I don't think she's cool, but I'm cool with her for sure. Like, we're vibing for sure. If I see her at a football game, I'm the last guy you're going to see complaining. I don't care. I don't think she wants to be on the Jumbotron. She just doesn't. I don't care. I hope this next album of hers is good. I like some of her music too. Maybe like 15 to 20 songs of hers I got liked, something like that. She's got a lot of music. Not my favorite. I'm not a huge fan of light voiced artists. Like female voices don't sound as good to me. Light male voices don't sound that good to me. I like, I don't know, a little bit more the lower tones. Typically, not always. And so yeah, I fuck with some of her music. I think she's all right. She's a little cringy, but whatever, And the super fans, dude, they love her. She's their older sister. That's usually what it is. She's just older sis to them. But with that being said, I think more men need to take that approach. And hear me out, guys. I think we all need to accept Taylor Swift, if you haven't already. Some of you already have. Some of you are super fans yourselves. But we need to all accept Taylor Swift. And you want to know why? Because if we're ever going to get girls to accept Joe Rogan, we're going to need to accept Taylor Swift. Now, I had this argument the other day with my sister, who is the Taylor Swift. She's the Taylor Swift fan. She gets mad at me. Not mad. She just gets, she disagreed with me on this point. But here's my point here. Taylor Swift is, for the average girl, as Joe Rogan is for the average bro. I'm not going to say guy, but bro, because the fandom is crazy. That's really what bugs people, in the end. Like, people that love Joe Rogan fucking love Joe Rogan. This guy loves him. I love him. And people that love Taylor Swift, oh, they love her. They love her. They love her. And I don't quite understand why that upsets the other crowd that knows nothing about them. Like, I don't know much about Taylor Swift. Honestly, I probably know more than your average person because I'm surrounded by her all the time. But if you don't know her, like, why does it bug you that someone's a super, super fan about it? I mean, I understand, if things go too far, but like, for your average Taylor Swift fan that's like, that loves her, spends $500 something plus on tickets, goes and flies to see her, like, that's pretty common. Like, funny enough, that's pretty common. I think that shouldn't bother you at all. If she's going to football games and she's the biggest star in the planet and they show her a couple times that, she's a superstar, why does that bother you? And at the same time, again, the same thing, Joe Rogan is fucking everywhere. He's got the biggest podcast in the world. He is the biggest podcaster of all time. Podcast is one of the biggest forms of media in the world, and he is the biggest one. He has had over 2,000 episodes, over 2,100 episodes now. He's had everyone from Bernie Sanders to Kanye West on his podcast. And, like, girls are upset. Not just girls. I hate to specify that. I hate to generalize like that, but I'm just going to have to. But people that don't like Joe Rogan, like, that rarely watch any of his episodes, like, they just don't even, they give you no time of day if you like him. If you love him, they're like, yo, that's weird. Like, they always say, it's a red flag in a guy if he likes Joe Rogan, if he talks about Joe Rogan, if he watches Joe Rogan. It's the biggest podcast in the world. It's a red flag if she likes Taylor Swift. She's the biggest artist in the world. Like, obviously, they're doing something right, both of them. So here was I think that's a pretty solid argument, me. Here was the counterpoint, which is very valid, what she says. Joe Rogan is destructive and Taylor Swift isn't destructive. So this is a little interesting because Joe Rogan has platformed, as I said, with Kanye West, some interesting people that people don't like or agree with. Recently, Aaron Rodgers, and this happens all the time. He has on people, Bob Lazar, that are out there, conspiracy theorists, Alex Jones. He's platforming these people. It's destructive. He's platforming people that are anti-vax. It's destructive. He's platforming this, that, and the other thing, whatever. I think that's all based around your bias, Do I agree with everyone that he's ever had on? No. In fact, I feel like I find myself typically being like, oh, we had this person on, I'm listening to the episode and be like, I don't really agree with a lot of what that person's saying. Now, I tend to agree with a lot of what Joe says because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like he kind of has a similar view of the world as me, or I have him. But I don't typically agree with the other person on the other side of the table. It's just the way it is. And I think, just because you spread an idea doesn't make you a villain, or it shouldn't in the same way. Obviously that is, but I do agree with my sister. That is a dividing line between Joe Rogan and Taylor Swift fandom. Like, if you like Joe Rogan, but again, now let me get back to my counterpoint to that. And now she's not here, so she can't respond. If you don't like a guy because he watches Joe Rogan, it has nothing to do with the fact that he's platforming people that are negative. You don't like him for basically no reason. It gives you the ick. That's what it is. It just, you just are like, nah, don't like that. And that's the end of it. It's baseless in reality. You're kind of you just feel that way. And the same thing, and you know, as much offense you might take to that, it's the same thing for Taylor Swift. If a guy doesn't like Taylor Swift, it's more than likely pretty baseless. It's for bullshit reasons, is what I'm trying to say. Because they'll give you a reason, usually, if it's Taylor Swift. It's like, she makes shitty music. It's like, all right, dude, you're going to say the biggest artist in the world and one of the best-selling artists of all time makes shitty music. I can point you to great songs if you want me to. And even if you don't really like them, music is opinion-based. So who are you to say that she makes shitty music? If you don't love her music, you don't gotta listen to it. I mean, maybe you do if you listen to the radio, but no one does anymore if you're cool. So she shouldn't bother you at all. And maybe you say, oh, well, the super fandom is just out of hand. Like, these girls are just crazy. It's like, okay. Why do you hate Taylor Swift for that then? Hate these people who can be psychotic if you want to. But there's someone like that for everybody. You know, just the super fandom's a scary thing for anybody. It's a stan. It's like, you know, the stan that Eminem talked about who killed himself. Like, you know, that fake character is a real person in a lot of scenarios. And that's the same thing for Joe Rogan. It's like, if you're someone that's like, oh, he likes Joe Rogan, he gives me the ick. It's like, well, why? It's like, well, his podcast kind of sucks. It's the biggest podcast in the world. It's the biggest one. There is nothing bigger than his podcast on a week-to-week basis. It's like, oh, well, he has these weird views. And it's like, well, do you like the views of everything that you like? I don't think so. I doubt it. Let's not get down that rabbit hole, you know? And more than likely, if you're a hater of Taylor Swift, specifically for the haters, you haven't listened to enough music of hers, you know, of like, you know, actual stuff that you might actually like. You haven't in a fair way. You haven't in a fair way. And you also haven't really considered the fact that she's like a person, you know. Same thing goes for Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's just a guy. He's just a dude. He's just a dude. Just like how Taylor Swift's just a chick. She's just a lady. She's just a woman. And Joe Rogan's just a guy, and same deal. You haven't listened to enough podcasts. I can find a podcast for you. If you are a Joe Rogan hater and you want to come to the dark side, or the light side, as I like to say, but if you want to go to your dark side, just hit me up. I'll send you 3 to 4 episodes you'd love. Or at least, you know, if you listen to, you'd understand them a little bit better, for sure. So that's my little spiel on that. Rogan and Taylor are two sides of the same coin. I don't even know why I brought that up, but that's just the vibes. Anyway, I think that's going to be how I wrap up here on episode 115. I'm happy to be back out here. It took me a little bit to shake off the rust, actually. I'm not going to lie. You know, I was getting good at this for a little bit, but, you know, a little month off would do it to you, for sure. But I'm happy that anyone that wants to listen to this right now, anyone that's gotten this far in, hopefully you enjoyed. I had a great time recording this one. I'll be having some people back on soon. I think I'm going to talk about NFL free agency, maybe even the draft with Nick DeSimone soon. I haven't even asked him, but I will. I'm going to be having on maybe Lohan. If you guys know Lohan, you should. He's the man. I'm trying to get him on too. And just having other people on as well, and just get back to making this a regular scheduled program. And I should be releasing more clips too. So hopefully you're all excited about that. Anyway, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your March. This might be the only post of March, but we hitting it hard. Come April, baby. So, yeah, good luck with your March Madness brackets, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.